Okay. OPSL is?
Okay, Brad, when you get your mind.
All right. So, anyways, 30 seconds after you start, we're going straight to the intro. So there's no advertising, just the intro for 30 seconds.
Intro,
Oh,
then
okay.
we're going.
Yeah. So it's just 30 seconds and you all are starting.
Okay.
And this is just you all again.
Okay.
And there is no advertiser at the end, so we're just running all the way up to
I'm just getting a wrinkle out of
all the way up to
well, that's up to Alvin.
Off the week before.
Yeah, but I
told you I had a
gave
doctor's
preemptive. I
I-
didn't know that. You didn't tell me that.
I have a lot going on.
Don't be such a stress bug.
I'm not. I've been doing better. It's just today was just crazy. You wouldn't understand.
That's rude.
Skipper.
What?
They're just. I was here like an hour and a half early, and it's like for nothing. And then everything. They start throwing papers on me 30 minutes before, and then you come.
See, that's why I didn't want to come early, because it just stresses me out. I mean, I had no benefit in coming early besides acclimating to the environment.
Yeah, acclimating and then getting some type of rhythm with me.
We have a rhythm always.
It's true.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Portland SportsBeat.
Well, look who's back.
I'm Michelle Cruz.
And I'm Brad Stein. And we are live on Comcast channel, what, 22?
Channel 22 tonight, yes. But there's replays and stuff too.
That's right. And you can follow us on Twitter at PDX Sports. Excuse me, I almost gave you my personal Twitter account. We won't do that. So what happened last week?
Last week I wasn't here because I was in Vegas.
What were you doing in Vegas?
Just, you know.
Scouting baseball leagues?
Pretty
minor league
much,
baseball,
yeah. I needed to do some work there.
the Las
so.
Vegas 52s?
Yeah, absolutely. How did
yeah.
you know?
I kind of
Crazy. It
figured
was
that
a work
because you look
trip.
so tan, and I know the sun is out, the desert. It's nice, isn't it?
It is
Where'd
nice.
you stay?
I actually stayed at Planet Hollywood for 3 nights and then at the Cosmopolitan for 2.
Oh.
So, to be honest, it was a little bit of a long trip for me. But I don't know if I'd ever do that again.
You don't. Do you want to know what we have coming up today? Today we have a favorite pastime show coming up for everyone. We have in segment number 1, skipper Todd Hall, pitcher Mark Triolo, and outfielder Jared Sanders of the Bridgetown Thunder. And they're going to tell us how their league can help increase baseball's popularity in Portland. And then a little bit later in segment number 2, we have some more baseball.
Awesome.
So it's just like one of those baseball shows.
Is this what's...
Yeah, we're going to get to that one
Okay.
second. This is the bat that I use when I play. It's to make sure I don't miss the ball, but
That
I don't want to
makes
miss the
sense
ball, right?
now.
So we have Clacakamas High School baseball. They're going to be here. Coach John Arston and 6A Player of the Year, Austin Kelly. He's going to talk about their second place finish in the state.
Awesome. And is this part of the Northwest Independent Basketball League or?
Baseball League.
Baseball.
Baseball League.
I know.
That's
sorry.
the NWIBL, yeah. So the Bridgetown Thunder, they're part of the NWIBL.
Nice.
Yeah. And this is the trophy. It's kind of like I guess you could say the Stanley Cup. Do you know what the Stanley Cup is? You know that big trophy that the hockey players,
Do you drink out
they
of it?
kiss, yeah, and all the fingerprints. And
They kiss and
oh,
fingerprints?
Yeah, they kiss it. There's all that bacteria, and it's kind of gross. But this is different because they don't actually kiss this bat. They just touch it, hold it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Very
kind of like
nice.
their pet.
Well, we're honored to have it here.
We are honored to
today.
have it. And this Bridgetown Thunder team that we're telling you about, 2012 champions. So they are the defending champions of the league, and they just had an impressive victory over the Portland Pirates.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to hearing from them.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what we have to do? It's part of our little tradition. We have to take the bat and we have to throw it over to the
No, you're
interview.
not going to do that.
We are
No,
going to do it.
that's-
Oh, yes, we are. We are going to throw
Am I still
this
wired?
bat.
Can I excuse myself? Can I just...
No, stay right there.
No, it's okay. I can go.
All right.
No, it's fine.
We're going to get ready. So we're going to bring it over to...
I could walk it over there. I'd be happy to.
Really? But you're all tied up with the wires.
I
We don't
know.
want to
I
offend
can't get
anyone.
up. Oh, it's too much.
But wait until you get a load of these 3 guys.
Okay.
Pitcher, outfielder, the guy named Jared Sanders. They call him Colonel Sanders. Do you know why?
Why?
Kentucky Fried Chicken, man.
Really?
He eats Kentucky Fried Chicken before every single game. It's true.
Really? I'm going to have
Yeah.
to...
Yeah, he cracked. Can you imagine being called Colonel Sanders and he actually hit a grand salami last game? You get
Wow.
salami, fried chicken. It doesn't really make sense. Yeah, so
It
here,
doesn't.
let's
Yeah,
throw
just
it now. Here we go. Ready? Watch your head. All right. No, we're gonna go over to the interview desk and we're gonna interview the Bridgetown Thunder with PJ Miller.
All right, we're here with the Bridgetown Thunder, Coach Todd Hall, and player as well, Jared Sanders and Mark Triolo. So let's go around and just kind of introduce yourselves, kind of let the audience know a little bit about yourself, maybe how long you played with the team and what position you play. Todd, why don't we go ahead and start with you?
Sure. I'm Todd Hall. This is my 9th season with the Portland City League and now Northwest Independent Baseball. I am the player manager of the team. I started the team about 9 years ago. This is our 9th season in Portland. I've been very blessed to have great players like Jared and Mark throughout the years, and we are the defending 2012 NWIBL champs, and looking forward to a great season here in 2013.
Now, the last game we went out, we did a broadcast from your last game against the Pirates.
Yep.
And the Pirates had won the previous
Previous two.
two championships.
Yep.
And you beat them in the championship last year as well, right?
Well, we
Is that-
actually they didn't make the championship game
Oh,
last
they
year,
didn't make the
but,
championship. Yeah. So is there kind of like a budding rivalry there between you guys? Because, like they were the champions, now you guys are the champions?
There is. I mean, the Pirates are a great team. We have some really good teams in the league, and it's been nice to see over the last 9 years the caliber of players in the league just continue to get better, and the teams continue to get better too. The competition's unrivaled that I've ever seen in the city. So it's been awesome. Pirates are a great team. Bombers are a great team. The Tribe's a great team as well. So a lot of good competition.
All right, sounds good. Jared?
Jared Sanders, pitcher / outfielder, and been the team. I think this is my 4th year now. Kind of just called the league, and Dwayne, the guy who runs the league, put me in contact with Todd, and Todd picked me up and said, "Hey, let's get you out here and see what you can do." And after that, I mean, just fell in love with the team, and looking forward to another, hopefully, repeat championship year.
So how does that work as far as, he just told you to get in contact with him. Is there any sort of draft, or are you guys, is it kind of a free-for-all, or does Dwayne kind of direct players to certain teams?
There's a draft.
Okay.
And so most times the players will come through the draft. A lot of players end up on the league, though, through word of mouth. So it's been nice to have guys like these guys who've helped recruit other players, and they've actually been connected to other players who've already been on the roster. And that's really how this most of the time things work in building a team.
Good. So Mark?
Sure. My name's Mark Triolo. I'm a right-handed pitcher and outfielder. I am in my 3rd season right now with the Thunder. The reason I got on this team actually was through a teammate named Sam Pogue. I go to a gym that he works at, and I kind of started talking to him one day, and he mentioned that he plays on an adult league team and asked me if I wanted to come out. And I came out, met these guys, and I just knew that it'd be a great time to play baseball throughout the summer, and I love it. It's fun.
So why don't you talk a little bit about your history of where you played high school and before you came to the NWIBL?
I grew up in San Diego, so I played high school baseball at Patrick Henry in San Diego. I signed with San Diego State at a high school, played 2 years for Coach Tony Gwynn, which was a great experience. And I transferred after my sophomore year up to the University of Portland here and played my last 2 years of college ball up here.
So playing for a guy like Tony Gwynn, Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
Pretty much a legend, especially in San Diego. What was it like playing for him?
Oh, it was an incredible experience. I tell everyone just to spend time around someone like that, just to pick his brain, just talk face to face. It's unparalleled. I mean, the amount of knowledge that he had about baseball and life, it was just incredible. He was a great guy. Obviously a San Diego sports legend, Hall of Famer, but just to get to know him and to be able to be around a baseball setting with him was pretty special.
And Jared, why don't you talk a little bit about your history before coming to the Tribe?
Before the Thunder.
Thunder.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I played at Mount Hood Community College for a year, then got drafted in the 42nd round by the Toronto Blue Jays. Decided not to go, went to Oregon State, played there for 3 years, and then got drafted in the 14th round as a senior and by the Cincinnati Reds, and played there in a couple years, and got released due to injuries and gave it about a year or two off, and then this is when I love the game. So, when you get that itch, season comes around, you want to play.
So what teams did you play for when you were with Cincinnati?
First year was Billings, Montana, the Mustangs, and then the second year was Dayton, Ohio, the Dragons, and then that next year was going to be in Sarasota, Florida, which is really hot and humid, so it's okay.
It's a little bit different than here. In the springtime, everything gets rained out most of the time. It's high school. It's always, I remember anytime before spring break, it was 50-50 chance it was going to get rained out, if not higher. So playing down in Florida, I'm sure it would have been a lot different.
Yeah, no, I like the weather here.
Yeah.
It's a lot cooler and drier, that's for sure.
So what is that? Why don't you give the people at home a little bit of experience on what it is like to play in the minor leagues and kind of what the day-to-day for a minor league player is?
I mean, it's a dream. The day you get drafted, it's a dream come true. You're excited. The day you get released, it's one of the worst days ever, But that's you get your chance to chase the dream, and that's all I could ask for. Day to day, we weren't getting paid that much. I probably could have worked at McDonald's and made more my first couple of years, but you're out there trying to make it to the next level and chase your dream. But it's an opportunity. It's a great experience, and just got to move on. Which that's why I keep playing. I still every year I say because my last year is my last year, but it comes around spring training, and you just get that itch and want to keep playing. So
when you were in the minors, that baseball is they play almost every day, but it seems like even in the minors, looking at some of the schedules, that they go 2-3 weeks without a day off.
Yeah.
So it's an everyday thing, isn't it?
It was 142 games, so we had a week, or I guess 2 days off a month is what we got. We'd be away for 2 weeks and come home for 2 weeks, or be away for a week, come home for a week. So it was tough. A lot of bus rides, long bus rides, as you probably see in all the movies. But it was, again, awesome experience. Wouldn't do anything else for the world, but it's I'm here.
Yeah.
Still playing. So.
All right, Coach, why don't you talk about your experiences?
Yeah, so I have a little less distinguished background than these guys, so it's hard to compare. I probably should have gone first, but these guys have been great and fun to play with. I have a background in Wisconsin, so I grew up in Wisconsin. I grew up as son of a baseball coach, had it in my blood from an early age, and played for the winningest program in Wisconsin state history. So I had some great coaches going through that program. Was all conference, all state, and then after finishing my high school career, I decided to continue playing in the summer, as these guys have decided to do with us. So I played in the Home Talent League, which is in college summer league in Wisconsin, for 4 years, and then my wife and I moved out here a couple years later, and then I started the Thunder about 9 years ago.
How did you hear about the league and get involved with it?
Yeah, so I actually just kind of seeked it out or sought it out. I was searching for an opportunity to play. I really enjoyed my time in Wisconsin playing with the guys back there, and kind of just decided at some point, I said, I think I can maybe start a team. I'd seen what was out there and what was available, and thought maybe I had what it took to start a team from scratch. And I will tell you, it was probably the most challenging thing I've ever done. I moved here not knowing anybody. The first season of Thunder baseball was a lot different than it is today. The level of play on the team was I would say, a little bit less than what it is right now. Had some great, very dedicated guys, and I tip my cap to everybody who's ever worn the uniform, because we have the luxury of having a very dedicated group of guys, and we have had that since I started, so been very lucky.
What is the support that you have to have as a coach and someone who starts a team? You got some players here who play all the time. You play and manage the team. I mean, what is the dedication, and how does that relationship work with your wife or your family or anything like that? How does that work?
Well, maybe we should have her on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe she should sit right here.
She plays just as much as a role as he does on the team.
Yeah, we call her Team Mom, and she's been phenomenal. I mean, she's as much into it as I am. You'll hear her from the stands. In fact, if you listen to some of your broadcasts, you can hear her voice in the stands. And she's been our #1 supporter since the day I started doing this, and I couldn't do it without her. But it takes guys like these guys, too, in order to make this thing work for 9 years. And the goal I've always had is just to be better every season. And, for a variety of reasons, we've actually been able to do that the last 8 years and 9th year now. So, it's been a really successful run, and without the dedication of the guys on the team, it wouldn't happen. So, the guys always tell me, hey, it's your leadership. It's really not. It's the guys that end up on the team, and we've kind of built that culture of accountability and dedication that, I think it's very uncommon for a team of adult league players to have. And, ultimately we pay to play this game, right? We're not getting paid like Jared got to play for money, back in the day. So we pay for the opportunity to come out and do this, a couple times a week, and it's just a great opportunity to build camaraderie, friendships, and it's really, it's become like a family for us.
Yeah. One of the things I noticed after the last game is that the Pirates you guys were playing them, and pretty much the game was over, and they all kind of busted out of there and, kind of cleaned up and got out of there. You guys were there for probably 20 minutes afterwards, just kind of in a huddle talking.
Yeah.
There was some, a lot of talk about preparation for the next game and practices, and you guys seemed to genuinely enjoy just that time to be able to hang out and stuff.
Yeah, that's the way that our team operates. We operate almost like a college or high school type team with the structure. A lot of people will make fun of us, like the other teams, because they say, oh, these guys are too serious. They take it, way too seriously. But that's what makes us successful, is that we do, like Todd said, we have accountability to one another. And, this is just a hobby for us. We all have jobs and other interests in life, but we do take it seriously. And when we're out there, we try to do as good a job as we can.
And I do get some grief for my post-game talks. They probably could be a little shorter, as these guys will attest, but I do like to hear myself talk.
Yeah.
As a former, son of a former coach, I kind of know the post-game pep talk. So these guys are very, very good about listening, though.
So, we're going to have, a little bit later on, we're going to have some young players who, they're all seniors at Clacakamas High School. Maybe we'll go through each one of you guys. Maybe give some advice to a young up-and-coming player who, one of them was the 6A Player of the Year. Maybe, Tree, we'll start with you. Why don't you give some advice to these young up-and-coming players?
I would just say be dedicated and have the will to work. It's extremely important wherever you go to college to show up from day one and show the coaches and the other players that you're serious about competing for a spot. It's going to be extremely difficult as a freshman to get playing time at a D1, but if you're good enough, they'll play you. And also, it's important to study hard. It's really important to make the most of that education that you get in college so that when your playing days are over, you can have a career. So that's what I would say.
I would say, I mean, there's a lot of things you can say, but take care of yourself. I wish I would have taken care of myself and just in the minors, just kind of took it for granted. Obviously, don't take it for granted because you don't know when your arm might give out or, you know, something might, your career could end just like that, just as fast as it got started. So definitely take care of yourself and always trying to get better every day. Work ethic, like Tree was saying, is definitely big. With classes and everything in school, I mean, if you're trying to play baseball and go to school, it's tough. It's tough, but it's a great life. It's fun. He's done it. We did it. I mean, you know how hard classes were and stuff. It's a lot of work, so.
Yeah, I would say similar to these guys. I mean, you know, if you want to be great, you got to do some of the things that nobody else will do, right? Because everybody does the easy stuff. But if you want to be a great player, you got to outwork everybody. And baseball is a game of repetition. And I think, you know, if it's in your heart and you love the game, then, you know, practice, repeat the right motions, you know, really work and study your craft, and, you know, be a student of the game. You know, really understand the game. Don't just show up and, you know, say, hey, I know the obvious stuff, but really study the game. Know pitcher's tendencies, know situational baseball, you know, all the things that go into being a truly great player. You see the guys at the major league level, they know that stuff, you know, and that's what distinguishes them from the average player. It's just the passion for the game, the focus on repetition, and also the knowledge of the game.
So yeah, you can kind of see that passion when you guys play. I think that is probably one of the keys that maybe differentiate you from maybe some of even the other teams inside of your league as well. So kind of going on that, you know, you guys have started the season. You guys are 3-0. One of those was a preseason game. Why don't you talk about the preseason and kind of what you guys were planning when you came into the season?
Sure. Well, I mean, I would say obviously number one goal was to repeat, right? I think that we're off to a great start, 3-0. We've had 2 shutouts so far. Our pitching's been terrific. You know, and you can kind of expect early in the season pitching will be normally ahead of hitting. But we've only given up 3 runs in 3 games. So our pitching's been great. Tree's been phenomenal as usual. You know, one of the best pitchers in the league. You know, Jared offensively has had some good performances so far, as he normally does. But, you know, I think our goal overall is just to continue to represent ourselves as we have in the past and always compete, be one of those teams everybody looks at as the #1 contender for the championship. So, you know, I think we'll no doubt about it. I think we'll be there at the end of the year, and, you know, again, we're very focused on taking home the trophy again.
Right. So, so everyone knows it. How did you come up with the nickname Tree? How did that come about?
Well, my last name is Triolo, so if you put 2 and 2 together, it's not too hard.
Yeah. So
to decipher with Tree.
Yeah. Was that something you got from like high school, or is that college, or?
Yeah, it actually started high school. It's pretty simple. My brother went by Tree as well when he was playing. Just something fun and easy.
It helps that you're 6'5", though, too. I'd be hard to call a guy Tree if he was 5'9".
Yeah.
That helps, yeah.
Oh, so I can't be called Tree. So, you know, you pitched this year. You pitched the first 2 games, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were your kind of expectations going into this year and, you know, coming off of the championship and, you know, kind of being that ace pitcher for the team?
Well, what I try to do is spend the off-season conditioning, lifting heavy weights, doing some cardio, trying to keep my body in the same type of shape that I was in when I played my college ball. I'm only a few years out, so that certainly helps.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I try to stay in shape, and I try to get on a throwing program in the spring, usually like the beginning of March. We'll start throwing when it gets nice enough outside. You build up that arm strength. I'm still actually building up the strength of my arm, but it doesn't differ from anything I did in high school or college in terms of preparation, physically and mentally for each season.
So is this kind of, is there a similar feel, because it's not really, you know, when you're in high school, you know, you have school, when you're in college, you have school. Is there a similar kind of feel to the season, because it's not an everyday thing like if you were doing it professionally? So is it kind of the same as what you grew up with?
Somewhat, only subtract school and interject work. But you try to stay on a schedule as good as you can. We play, you know, anywhere from 1 to 2 games a week. We try to practice on weekends where we can, and what you try and do is just keep yourself in the best shape so that when your number is called in the games, you can produce. And we all, we stay on each other pretty good about staying in shape. If a guy comes in overweight, we'll let him know that he's carrying a few lbs.
So is there a lot of joking around between the players?
Yeah, we have.
When don't we?
I think team chemistry for us is probably one of the distinguishing factors of the Bridgetown Thunder. you know, we've been very fortunate to have guys that really get along well together. And, you know, I mean, really as a manager, you know, and slash player, you mentioned it earlier how difficult it can be. I wouldn't be able to do it unless I had guys that bought into what we were trying to do, right? Because guys have to have their role. And not everybody can be a starter every game. Not everybody can be the ace pitcher. Not everybody can be the cleanup hitter, right? So you've got to have guys that know and understand their role, and guys that understand, hey, I'm going to come off the bench most of the time, or hey, I'm going to be a defensive substitution, or I'm going to be a relief pitcher or whatever. So without that, I mean, you'd have, I think, a lot more problems in terms of managing, you know, players and playing time in that.
So we talked about you being the cleanup hitter. Talk about your approach at the plate. You know, are you know, everyone talks about like seeing the ball when it's pitched. Do you have that ability where, you know, you can tell just by the way it's thrown if it's a curveball, it's a fastball, off speed? You know, can you see that when it's actually pitched?
It's tough. I mean, some days, and these guys are hitters too, really good hitters. So I mean, some days you'll see it better than others. Other days you're just swinging, hopefully you're hitting it. But sometimes pitchers have tendencies where they're going to tip you off with an off speed or a fastball. Hopefully they're not watching this, so they go home and fix it now. But it's honestly, it's just seeing it hit, like you said. See the ball, hit the ball. Don't try to do too much with it. Hit it where it's pitched. You don't need to try to hit it over the fence every single time because most of the time you're not. So I'd say that's really it. Just see it and hit it.
And we talk a lot about pitch selection because, you know, we always say it all the time. It's like our little saying is you're only as good as the pitch you swing at, right? So you don't have to hit the pitcher's best pitch. You just got to hit the one you're looking for. So we talk a lot about, you know, hitters counts and taking advantage of those, and, you know, really just looking for a spot and hitting it.
So favorite parts of the game, are you more of an offensive guy or a defensive guy?
Love it all. I mean, I'm a closer, but I think last year I only threw maybe 5 or 6 innings just because of our situations, and our pitching staff is so strong. I was never really needed, and it definitely saves my arm because my arms had problems. So I start in center field and try to produce as much as I can at the plate, and also, and I try not to let anything fall out there because that's my area, that's my job. So I think we play real hard, and you've heard pitching and defense wins championships. So, and we have some of the best pitchers and defense in the league, I think. So.
So what about you? Do you like being up on the mound and being in control, or do you like hitting better?
Well, hitting's more fun to me, but I didn't hit in college, so I kind of put hitting on the back burner until I came into this league.
So I have to say, so when Tree came and tried out for us a couple years ago, he came and he pitched inside. We have an indoor workout every winter. He came and pitched for us, and I could tell he was a pitcher right away. I was like, man, this guy, he's going to help us a lot. And then he took some batting practice, and I was like, we'll see. And he came over and he said, do you think I have a spot? I said, absolutely. You can definitely pitch for us. And he goes, I want to hit. And I thought, I'm not sure I can promise you that. Well, one season later he hit 408, and the next season he hit 383. So he can hit. So he's got a spot in the lineup whether he's pitching or not. So he's proven himself as a hitter as well.
So one of the cool things about the league that's different than, you know, maybe if you're watching, you know, Major League Baseball or something like that, or even high school or college, is that you guys have like an extra couple batters that can hit. Why don't you explain that rule and kind of why the league does that? Yeah,
so, you know, we're allowed to hit up to 11 guys in a lineup, so it just gives guys another opportunity to get some playing time. And, you know, it's nice to have the flexibility as a manager, too, to have 2 extra hitter spots if I want. I usually use 1. And then that's an extra position we basically can use in the lineup. So, you know, it just allows those guys to get extra at-bats, and, you know, it makes my job a little bit easier as a manager as well.
Okay, favorite baseball movie?
The Natural.
The Natural, good one. What's yours?
Oh, man. I would say Natural is definitely up there.
For the Love of the Game with Costner.
No, okay.
And I have to say, though, I have to give a shout out to Major League because that's our team,
our
team motto.
Yeah.
We have a lot of good sayings from Major League, and so my nickname's Lou Brown as the manager, and so we've got a few other nicknames related to Major League. So
my favorite is watching Major League on network television when they bleep everything out, and it's just the voice is just totally dubbed
Strike
out.
This guy.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do. And Bull Durham is another great movie.
Yes.
That was always our movie in high school when I was in high school.
Great
So,
movie. Yep.
So any shout outs to any teammates?
I'll just give a shout out to the other 14 guys who aren't here. I promised I'd give them all a shout out. So if I got to give a shout out to the best nickname on the team, and that's the Dirty Ocho. So we'll leave it at just because he's the number 8. And Brad had some fun with that when he did our first game of the year. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him. But really, all the guys, thanks for everything you guys do. It's been a great ride, and you know, I wish we could have them all here tonight.
Absolutely.
All right, we want to say thank you very much, guys, for coming in. The Bridgetown Thunder, Portland Baseball, NWIBL. When's your next game?
Next game is a doubleheader on Sunday down at Kaiser Volcano Stadium.
Kaiser Volcano Stadium, and then you guys play your home games at
Walker Stadium and Scavone Field.
Scavone Field. All right, so go check them out anytime you can. And thank you very much, guys, for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right, we're going back to Brad and Michelle.
All right.
Oh, there comes a bat. Watch out. Okay. But we got a glove anyway, so. Got a glove. You want to put on your head?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
You can do that,
No,
actually.
it's actually quite funny because Todd Herbst is the coach of the Portland Pirates, and he wrote me an email, and he was trying to tell me a little bit about the other Todd. That's Todd Hall, who's right there over there to my right on the Bridgetown Thunder. And he said, you want to get something funny? You want to talk about something in your broadcast? That's because I do play-by-play for them. He said, you got to read this. So I read it, and he goes, look at Facebook, look what he writes. He's really seriously, this guy takes it too serious. I go, what do you mean takes it too serious? He goes, just read some of the script. So I read some of it, and I'm like, this guy writes these crazy bios on his players, and he sits there, he sums up the game.
Like what?
He writes a whole wrap up about what happened, who hit this, where the ball went, what happened at the bottom of the ninth or bottom of the seventh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy he takes it pretty seriously, as you can tell.
That is some serious dedication on that team, I could tell. I mean, a strong 9 years, they said.
Dedication?
Yeah.
Do you know what that word means?
I do know what that
That
word
means
means.
not showing up 20 minutes
no, okay,
prior
but
to
they
camera.
also said that they have lives outside of their sports, but they still seem dedicated.
Todd Hall has no life outside of baseball.
Ask me what I was
Todd
doing.
Hall has no life outside of baseball.
Ask me what I was doing before I was here.
What were you doing before you were here?
I was actually monitoring someone in 3 hours of labor. Had to wait there. Actually came running over here. I'm sure I am not the cleanest right now. Ripped off my scrubs and changed.
I think you look fine. I have to give you credit. You look great.
Thanks.
Well, when I first asked you, you said to me, I just gave birth. I said, excuse me?
It's the same
You scared me. I was
thing.
like, I don't remember you being
I was
pregnant.
assisting in giving birth. It's very strenuous. You try doing it. Maybe I'll take you to work sometime and you can see how it feels.
Listen, you put on one of these gloves, all right, and you listen to Todd Hall's pep talks before and after a game, his post-game interviews, and then you really dealt with
Maybe
something.
I'll have him put on his gloves and catch a baby.
We do. So we have a great highlight coming up from the Portland Bolts football PDX. Portland Bolts. Did you get to watch that game?
Yeah.
You did get to watch it game.
No, I didn't.
Did you hear that wonderful?
I just lied for a second.
Okay, so she lied. That happens once or twice or maybe 3 times.
Little fibbies.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Portland Bolts, they had an impressive win in overtime over the Utah Argos. First game ever of the inaugural season of the PDFL.
Really?
And guess who called the game? Guess who called the game?
Oh, I don't know.
The guy sitting next to you with the nice tie?
No, I don't think so.
What, you don't think so? The tie, or you don't think so? Okay. All right.
I'm just kidding.
Who's coming up next?
Actually, it looks like we have Clacakamas High School here with us, and the coach John Arnston, as well as a 6A Player of the Year, Austin Kelly.
Oh, that's going to be great. But for more information on the Thunder, or let's go to the league, go to www.nwibl.org. That's the Northwest Independent Baseball League. For more information on the Thunder and read those crazy bios and those exciting pre-games, post-games, all that good information, go to www.bridgetownthunder.com.
Very nice.
You'll find out nicknames like Tree, why do they call him Tree, and why they call...
Will I find out what Dirty Ocho means?
Dirty Ocho. Probably not on camera. I don't know if that's
Maybe I'll have to.
the best thing, but yeah, I had a litll fun with that. So we'll mess with that another time. And you'll get some good stats and oodles of information on your favorite players. That's www.bridgetownthunder.com. All right?
All right.
Just like Jared Sanders, they call him Colonel. You know Colonel Sanders, the Kentucky Fried Chicken dude?
And I don't think that's true. I think you're lying.
About what? Did they call him Colonel Sanders?
No, the fact that he eats fried chicken all the time.
It's kind of...
He fibs too.
I don't know if he eats Kentucky Fried Chicken or not, but he's not as cool as me, but I have a Kentucky Fried Chicken bag. It's not here, unfortunately.
Right. Well, we should pass it along because I really want to Google Dirty Ocho.
You really do? All right, so I guess you got to throw the glove over. I'm going to let you do the
I don't want to throw the glove. Why would you catch stuff with it?
I want you to throw the glove over. Oh, first we got to go to the Bolts video, so we're not going to forget that. Then we'll throw this glove over. So, Portland Bolts, PDX, it was awesome. I did the play-by-play, so you could probably listen to that wonderful voice. That was mine. The other guy was PJ Miller. All right, check it out. Bolts.
And here are your top 10 plays as the Portland Bolts host the Utah Argos. At number 10, Russell Snyder hands off up the middle. David Smith, 12 yards, and for the first time in PDFL history, a touchdown scored by the Portland Bolts. At number 9, Kyle English. Russell Snyder finds him open down the field, but no! Emerson Romero knocks it away. At number 8, 4th down. And a big sack there by Derek Brown from the Utah Argos. At number 7, Reuben Jones comes from the backside and demolishes Michael Affleck. Causes the fumble, recovered by the Argos. And at number 6, Alexander Decker takes the handoff from Affleck, carves his way through the Bolt defense all the way down to the 50-yard line. At number 5, Michael Affleck to Scott Shamek, a 27-yard touchdown. At number 4, fourth quarter, Affleck fumbles the ball. Devin Dyer comes up with it. Big turnaround right there for the Bolts. Then, on the ensuing drive, Russell Snyder to Zach McGinnis for the touchdown. Holds on to it there. That ties the game up just before the end of regulation. At number 3, big day at corner for Demillion Tanner. Comes up with a pick. And 80 yards. No one is going to stop him. He returns it, the pick 6, 80 yards for the touchdown. Great defensive play, but he was not done. Later on in the second half, the Bolts driving. Looking, and he's picked off again. Russell Snyder picked off twice by Demillion Tanner. Brings this one out to the 16. Then 2 great catches here. Irv Sims up and over. Oh, what a great play there by Irv Sims. Then, what a play. One-handed. He comes down with a little bit of contact there, but great no call by the refs. And at number 1, Russell Snyder buying time. Pressure comes, throws it up. Kyle English with the great catch at the end of the first overtime to force a second. Then in second overtime, down by 3, Russell Snyder looks, finds Kyle English in the back of the end zone. 2 late touchdowns for Kyle English, and the Bolts win the first ever PDF football game.
Have you ever had a weenie at a ballpark?
Oh my God.
A hot dog, Frankfurter, never the jumbo.
No, I don't
No?
eat mystery meats,
All right.
but I'm sure you have.
No, I wouldn't eat that kind of
He
stuff.
loves that stuff.
No, I was just curious. Come on, I'm in the mood for peanuts, Cracker Jacks, all the good stuff. I don't care if I ever get back. Take this, throw it over to the guys. Don't hit anybody, because we're going to pass this over to
I'm gonna
PJ
do
Miller
it.
right now. Clacakamas baseball.
Okay, there you go.
All right, we're here with the Clacakamas High School baseball program. Jared Switzer, Jacob Iverson, Austin Kelly, and Coach John Arnston, right?
Yep.
Arnston, yeah. So why don't we go ahead and let everybody introduce themselves. Jared, why don't we go ahead and start with you?
I'm Jared Switzer, first baseman, senior, number 18.
And so you've been playing baseball for how many years?
Probably about 13.
13.
Yeah.
So did you grow up? Did you play in like Clackamas Little League, or did you play like the like county ball, or what did you play?
I played in Clackamas junior baseball all the way up.
All right. And so did you always play first base, or did you play other positions?
No, early on I pitched and played shortstop, and once I got older I moved just to third base and first base, and then just this year I was mainly first base.
Nice. All right, Jacob.
My name is Jacob Iverson. I play shortstop at Clackamas High School. I'm a senior and I'm number 7.
And so did you grow up here in the Clackamas area?
Yes. Born and raised in Clackamas, Oregon. I've played baseball ever since I can remember, and just like Schweitzer, I played in the little leagues all throughout my career basically.
So did you guys play down at like Riverside Park?
Yeah, I think I know I played.
Once in a while.
Yeah, I played football there.
Okay, because I used to when I went to Clacakamas Little League. I played and we always used to play down at Riverside Park. So fond memories of going down to Riverside, riding my bike down there and stuff like that. So
You guys were all more the junior baseball, though.
Yeah, we were
Junior baseball.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, okay. So
I'm Austin Kelly. I play third base and I'm pitch for Clackamas. And I've been playing since T-ball, which was when I was 4 years old.
Still in diapers.
Yeah. Yeah.
and so you've been playing in the Clackamas Portland area.
And then I played JBO all the way up till
What teams did you play for?
I played JBO for league, and then I would play tournament ball with just traveling teams around there. Yeah.
So is that something that did you play like fall ball and like all year round pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much. Other than maybe a couple months of the year, but yeah, almost year round.
Did you play any other sports?
I played basketball till freshman year, and I played football a couple years, but yeah, no.
Baseball's been your sport?
Yeah, baseball's been my sport.
When did you kind of identify with baseball that it was going to be what you were going to be doing?
I mean, it was the first sport I played, and it's always been my favorite, like all the way up. And I didn't really love basketball, and I didn't love football, and I always loved baseball.
All right, Coach.
My name is John Artson. I'm the head baseball coach at Clackamas High School. This is my 17th year there.
And you have other duties at the school as well, is that correct?
Yeah. I'm also the defensive coordinator for the football team, and then I'm a teacher there. I'm a social studies teacher there as well.
Nice. How long have you been with doing social studies and
17
education?
years.
17
When
years
I started at Clackamas, I got the head baseball job right away.
So your first year was 1998?
1997.
1997.
Yeah.
Because I think I went to Rex Putnam High School.
Oh, okay.
So I think I played baseball up until my senior year. So I think I played against you when I was in high school.
What year did you graduate?
99.
Okay.
So 98 would have been my.
You probably played
99.
for Romanaggi.
No. Well, yeah, and then Drew Coleman.
Okay. Yeah.
Drew Coleman was my senior year. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of a small world because I went to Putnam. Clackamas was our rival, but it was when they were in Old Clackamas,
right?
Which is now Alder Creek Middle School.
Yeah.
So did you guys end up going, or did you guys go to Sunrise, or where did you guys go?
Yeah, we went to Sunrise Middle School. We were the last class to go through there. Yeah.
Until they moved into Happy Valley Middle School, which is more based in Happy Valley.
Okay. So talk about Jared. Why don't we start with you? Talk about this baseball this season. You guys preseason. What were your expectations for the team?
Going into the year, we had really high expectations. Last year, we had a really good summer, and we won a lot of games, and we just had a really talented group of players going into this year. So I think everyone really had high expectations for this team.
What about you personally? What were your expectations for how you would play this year?
Last year, I had a pretty good season at the plate, and this year I knew I had to step into another defensive role, graduating our previous first baseman. And so going into this year, I knew I had to step up, and Austin and I are two of the captains. And so we knew that we had to lead this team, and I needed to have a good year.
So you talk about that leadership role, being named a captain. What does it mean to you to be a captain for a team?
Oh, it's huge, especially for this team, having your peers vote for you. And we did this during summer ball, and just knowing that I have all these guys behind my back that'll always back me up, and they're expecting me to take over and help lead them to where they want to be. It was huge.
All right, what about you, Jacob? For this year, what was your expectations for yourself and for the team?
Personally, I just, I wanted to come out and lead by example, just like what Coach Artson always preaches to us seniors at least. We set 4 or 5 goals this year, and we finished all of them except for the last one. We won a league title, which was the first one since 2006. So, I mean, overall, considering the circumstances we were under, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better year. Great group of guys. We all have great chemistry. We always like to have fun. And coaches always say that's the most important thing, and we definitely did that.
So, just before we came on, I was asking you guys some questions, and I heard you kind of calling him out a little bit for some, I believe you got picked off at second base. Do you want to explain what happened with that?
So we have this thing called, what's it called? What's this?
No secondary.
No, yeah, it's basically, so bases are loaded, less than 2 outs, and we give this sign to all the base runners, and it means no secondary. So like as the pitch is thrown, usually get a secondary to get closer to the next base. And so coach gives us this sign, and we all acknowledge it. And so Austin was at second base acknowledging the sign, and I don't know, I can't remember who we were playing, but the shortstop, Thurston. It was
But he wasn't standing on the base. He was standing next to the base, and he's looking at me.
He's standing off the base, and I don't know, the shortstop and pitcher were just on the same page, and they just backpicked. And Austin just was like, he was like this, and then he just fell. They tagged him out,
what happened.
And then he just kind of walked back to the dugout. And we were all thinking like, oh, that's a little bit. So but at the end of the day, we won the game, and it's all fun and games. So we're always gonna get a kick out of that.
So do you give him a hard time about that all the time? Do you still bring it up?
I kind of just let it go. I don't really want to push any nerves with him, but I mean.
Now that the season's over, he can.
Yeah, definitely.
So is it gonna be like the text you send him in like 2 years?
Yeah.
Just take a picture of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, just something like that. Yeah.
All right, for you, Austin, what were your expectations coming into this year?
I mean, I was expecting to have a good season, and I saw what we did last year and what we did like over the summer, and I just knew that we were gonna have a good season. And with the guys we had and the pitchers that we had this year, I knew it was gonna be good.
So, you personally, like, what were you, what were some goals that you set for yourself this year?
I mean, my goals were, it was just kind of like, leading the team and just doing what I can to help everyone out, and a lot of it was pitching, like going like deep into games and stuff. Did coach make you captains, or was that a team vote? How did you guys become captains? We actually voted for captains, and we voted for 2 captains, and then me and Sweitz were both voted captains.
So what does that mean to have your teammates vote you as a captain?
I mean, it meant a lot. Like and I know it meant a lot for Sweitz too, and we're different leaders. Like Sweitz is the more serious one, and I'm kind of more just out like having fun, but we both lead by example, and I think it was a good like combo that we had.
All right. So Coach, going into this year, you had some family issues outside of what happened with the team, and it was very hard during the off season, and losing a child like that. And so this team coming together and rallying around you, what does that mean to you as a coach?
It was huge. It was huge. These guys, I told them after the state championship game, they were down because they didn't win the state title, but I told them what they did for me and my family this year was probably bigger than winning any state title. They possibly saved my life, and not just myself and my family, but the community in general. It's been a tough go for us, but it's been tough for the community as well. And I think this baseball team helped to put some life back in the community and lift a lot of spirits.
Okay. So talk about these players on this team, these guys specifically, but the team in general, kind of what your expectations were for them coming into this year, and what was your outlook for the team?
I knew it was a special group before the season started. You could see it with these 2 classes coming up through the junior baseball. The class below these guys is very talented and has lots of kids, but I knew their group didn't have quite as many guys, but some pretty special guys. And I just had that feeling when they came together as juniors and seniors, it was going to be a really good team. And then the way they played last summer, we had a great season last summer. The chemistry of the team, everything just kind of came together. So going into this season, like these guys said, the expectations were pretty high.
So you guys, throughout the year, you guys were ranked at the top of the state near almost the whole season. Was there any kind of point in time during the year where things kind of changed and you kind of saw things differently, or was it pretty much from the beginning you guys knew that you guys were going to be special and that this was going to be a really good year?
From the beginning of the year, we sit down before we play our first game and go through some team, we meet and do individual goals and we do team goals. And, like Jake said, they had some goals of winning league. They had goals of going deep in the playoffs, and their ultimate goal was to win a state championship. And, I think they were setting very realistic goals. They felt they were capable of doing it.
So you guys won the Three Rivers League this year. Talk about the competition that the Three Rivers presented for you guys.
It's easily the best league in the state. You could ask anyone. Like, I mean, I have friends who play in the Metro, who play in Mount Hood Conference, and Three Rivers League, bar none, is easily the toughest league in the state. The pitching's better, much better hitters. I mean, we have one of the best players in the state in the Three Rivers League. So,
and we had every team in our league made it to bracket play this year, which is that's pretty hard to do. And yeah, we got like LO's good, and all kind of top 10 teams. So when you're going through a season like this and you're playing that type of level of competition, how do you prepare on a day-to-day basis for teams that are going to bring it every day and not have a letdown?
We're probably a little bit different than other teams. We like to keep it nice and mellow, but when that first pitch is thrown, we bear down a little bit and we get after it. So I mean, off the field, you would never know that we finished second in the state in baseball and we're one of the best teams in the state. But on the field, you can definitely tell when we want to play hard, we play hard. So it's that simple.
Jared, do you think where do you think that attitude comes from? Is that something that you guys kind of grew up, or is it something that coaches kind of helped you guys develop, or where do you think that comes from?
I think it was a mix of all the personalities on our team. Austin was one of the funniest kids on the field, and when he steps in between those lines, he's serious. And then, coming out to practice every day, Coach Arnson's going to come out and get you guys prepared for the next day, next game. I know through league, you always had to be prepared. He said there was never a week that you could just take off and skate by, because you could end up with 3 losses in that week. And so each day you had to come out and be prepared, practice hard, come ready, focused, ready to win.
What would be really nice is that we sent out when we talk to you guys, and we send out these emails, kind of talking about what's going to happen. You have this great focus. Coach sent you guys a thing about what to wear, and the one thing we told you guys not to wear was green. And would you look right over here at Austin's shirt? It has green on it. I mean, come on, Austin. Where's that focus when we need it?
I mean, I guess it's
I'm not surprised a bit. Sure, not at all.
Actually, like right before we left, I had an all green shirt on, and I remembered that, so I went and changed. But I didn't even realize that there was the little green lines in this one.
All right, so you were Gatorade Player of the Year for Oregon. Talk about what that honor means for you.
I mean, that was one of my personal goals for the year.
Be honest, you had pressure on yourself because your girlfriend won it.
There was a lot of pressure.
So explain that. What, your girlfriend?
Well, I think she was. Yeah, my girlfriend goes to Central Catholic. She plays basketball there, and she was Player of the Year for Oregon. And so there was kind of a little pressure there.
Who's your girlfriend?
Kylie Johnson.
Kylie Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was one of my personal goals too. And I mean, I really worked hard this off season, and I was just.
So, coaching a player of that caliber, and you have all of your guys. I mean, you get second in state. All of you guys have such a great grasp of how to play baseball. But when he gets a Player of the Year, how does that make you feel as a coach? And kind of what is the development that you try to help him with?
Oh, I was really proud of him. I think going into the season, there were some high expectations on him and some pressure for him to deal with, and I think he handled it really well and just went out and played. That's one of the things about Austin. These guys kind of alluded to it. He doesn't get too uptight in games. He's kind of got a unique way of keeping guys loose and having fun with the game, and I don't think he lets a lot of things bother him. That's why he's able to play as well as he does. All
right. So, walk us through kind of the playoffs. Why don't we, Jacob, why don't you answer this? Walk us through the playoffs, and as it's rolling out and you guys are going through, kind of what's your feeling and what's your preparation as you guys are playing in the playoffs?
It was hard for us just because we were we had such a good regular season to stay focused on individual games. So I mean, first, second round was, I mean, obviously we wanted to win, but it's just hard not to think about the next round, and I think we did a good job of that. Not just us three, I mean our whole entire team, including our coaches, they did a good job of keeping us focused and letting us know that it takes one game at a time.
So for you, you guys are progressing through the playoffs. Are you starting to get nervous as you guys get closer to the championship game?
I wouldn't say nervous. I would more say anxious, because you realize how close you actually are to achieving this goal and achieving it for all your teammates, all your coaches, everyone who's backed you up throughout the season. So, I mean, it definitely sunk in when in our semifinal game that we just had to win one more game and we were going to be playing in Kaiser.
So you guys make it down to the state championship. Talk about the game, before the game, during the game, and the emotions afterwards.
I mean, we went in that day at like 9, and we just went and like hit and just got ready, and we drove down to Kaiser just to, like, earlier that week, just to get a feel for the field itself, and that was a big part of it, just being out there and like soaking in like the fans and everyone. There was a lot of people there. We had a lot of support from our community.
Yeah, we did.
So just like getting used to that was a big part of it, and then like, I mean, we doing what we do, and I think we didn't do that then, but we did that like the rest of the playoffs.
Coach, some final words about the year that these guys had.
You know, I think it was just a really special year for these guys. You know, I alluded to what I said to them after the state tournament. I think in a couple of years, when they look back at, you know, what they did on the field, they broke the school record for wins. They won the Three Rivers League. But again, what they did for myself, what they did for the community, I don't think they've quite grasped it yet, what they've done. And I think when they look back in a couple of years, you know, they're going to sit back and kind of do that, wow, look what we were able to do, and it's going to be a really cool thing. And it was a really cool thing, and when they realize that, it's going to be neat.
Next year, you guys got plans for continuing on?
Next year, I'm planning on going to Linfield University and playing baseball there.
National champions.
Yes.
National champions.
I'm going to go up to Shoreline, which is in Seattle, for a year, and then I'm looking to go to University of Portland after that for the next 3 years.
I'm going to be playing at University of Portland next year.
Awesome. And you'll be back with Clacakamas?
I'm going to stay at Clacakamas.
Sounds good. All right.
No scholarships for me.
Yeah. All right. Although I'm sure there's probably a lot of suitors. So, Jared Switzer, Jacob Iverson, Austin Kelly, boyfriend of the 6A Basketball Player of the Year, Coach John Arnston. I want to say thank you guys for coming on. You guys, any quick shout outs for any of the players?
I mean,
I think just the whole team.
Check out our Harlem Shake video.
Harlem Shake?
Oh, yeah, we got a good Harlem Shake video.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah,
YouTube.
Clackamas, what is it?
Just Clackamas.
Clackamas Rooftop Harlem Shake.
Clackamas Rooftop Harlem Shake.
All
right. Thank you guys very much for coming on. Brad, Michelle, back to you guys.
We're back. Caught it. Like that. Thank you, Clackamas High School Baseball. They were really good.
Yeah, they were really good.
Impressive.
Very successful team.
And I have to apologize to you. I'm really, really sorry.
Thank you.
I didn't know you were actually in labor. You said you were in labor.
I wasn't in labor.
I thought you were being a wise guy to me.
I was watching someone in labor.
You were watching someone because you're a midwife.
This guy was giving me the hardest time when I came maybe 15 minutes late. And I had to draw an image for him because this is how he understands things. This is me under a bus, and this is him pushing me under the bus. This guy right here, not a team player.
If you want to just strangle me, just go ahead. Forget about the mic.
No, it's
okay.
okay.
All right.
Let you keep
Okay, great. Well, if you want to check out past episodes, we have some great ones. We have the Ultimate Team. You missed that show, and it was ultimate. Okay, you
what
can't
was
say
so ultimate about it?
So ultimate that you have to get the F out of Frisbee.
Okay.
You get the F out. Okay.
Isby?
Huh?
Isby? What?
Well, it's a disc. It's not a Frisbee anymore. It's a disc. So check out that. You could check out the Portland Bolts interview, past episodes, 15, 16, 17, 18. Also, PCC basketball. That was a great one. I work for them. Check them out. Good interview over there.
Am I going to hear your voice on that too?
You could. You could hear my voice. You were with me that day. I think you were. Maybe you weren't. Maybe you didn't show up. I don't know.
Oh, ooh.
Oh, no, not again. No more bus. No more bus.
Really? Really?
Oh, yeah. What do we got coming up for on Portland SportsBeat? We have Sherwood High School Basketball 5A state champs. I think they'll be here June 29th, 2013. Check out that show.
Okay.
And you'll be here, right?
Yeah, I'll be here, I think.
No more labor, no more giving birth.
No more babies being.
No more babies being made. Next time you'll say, I have a show. Because that's what Ryan Johnson came off camera. He said, no. He said, that's unacceptable. Next time you say, I have a show to do. Give birth
I'll just
later.
let him catch their own baby.
Yeah, you catch your own baby. What's the difference? Do you really need to be there to catch it? That's what a big mitt's for, right? You put the mitt in here, just like that, and you catch the baby just like that. All right.
That's
also,
disturbing on so many levels.
so many levels. We have the Rose City Showcase at Lewis and Clark College. That's AAU basketball. Check it out. I will be the public address announcer, so you can hear my voice a little bit more. I know you're probably sick
exciting.
of it. Oh, you're excited. Okay, great. That's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think the fun festivities start about 5 p.m. And what else do we have?
You should also check out the Oregon Premier Soccer League games at Buckman Field every Thursday.
Okay, great. We do have some more top 10 of the Bolts. That's the Portland Bolts from last Saturday's football game. Check it out right now. So we're going to go to that cue. We're going to cue it up. Cue it up for us. Tell them to cue it up.
Cue it up, please.
Thank you. Portland Bolts, top 10.
And here are your top 10 plays as the Portland Bolts host the Utah Argos. At number 10, Russell Snyder hands off up the middle. David Smith, 12 yards, and for the first time in PDFL history, a touchdown scored by the Portland Bolts. At number 9, Kyle English. Russell Snyder finds him open down the field, but no! Emerson Romero knocks it away. At number 8, fourth down. And a big sack there by Derek Brown from the Utah Argos. At number 7, Reuben Jones comes from the backside and demolishes Michael Affleck. Causes the fumble, recovered by the Argos. And at number 6, Alexander Decker takes the handoff from Affleck, carves his way through the Bolt defense all the way down to the 50-yard line. At number 5, Michael Affleck to Scott Shamick, a 27-yard touchdown. At number 4, fourth quarter, Affleck fumbles the ball. Devin Dyer comes up with it. Big turnaround right there for the Bolts. Then, on the ensuing drive, Russell Snyder to Zach McGinnis for the touchdown. Holds on to it there. That ties the game up just before the end of regulation. At number 3, big day at corner for Demillion Tanner. Comes up with a pick. And 80 yards. No one is going to stop him. He returns it, the pick 6, 80 yards for the touchdown. Great defensive play, but he was not done. Later on in the second half, the Bolts driving. Looking, and he's picked off again. Russell Snyder picked off